It's coming your way. Hey, hey, it's video of the day.
He still has no balls or a brain. So let's hear Tim Walz in Spain. Our video of the day comes to us from Spain, where Tim Walz directed his fury at Donald Trump over Iran. How might many of us know you?
Many of you might know me as the guy who isn't currently the Vice President of the United States.
Correct.
And all I have to say about that is I'm very sorry about that. We've got a feeble-minded, trigger-happy president who plunged us into a war where no threat was present, with no clear objectives and no exit plan. Give up and condemn that monstrosity that sets in our White House. Keep the pressure on. Keep calling it out. Keep standing up to it. Keep naming it. But no, there are more good people that stand on the right side of history.
All right. Wow. Honestly, I haven't seen Tim get that mad since they canceled the Gilmore Girls. He's pathetic. You know, you didn't just lose the vice presidency. Your state got conquered by Somali pirates. If you ever hold another position of power, may it be managing a Quiznos in Burundi. All right, Joey. This treason.
Listen, it's not treason, but I'll tell you this. At least he's consistent on an issue. Because, I mean, nobody has run away from a Middle East war like Tim Walz. I mean, that you know, 6 foot tall, I didn't know he could stack that high. I mean, that piece of coward literally ran from going to war when he was the leader of his unit, the top-ranking enlisted man in his unit, and he bolted.
Yeah.
Left the entire unit to go, I think it was Iraq by themselves. Without
no tampons in the barracks, I heard.
The good thing is, whatever their casualty rate was, I'm sure it was much better than had he been in charge. I mean, that man could get people killed walking across the street to school. I mean, you can't, that's not a leader there.
Yeah.
He reminds me of the Cowardly Lion from Wizard of Oz.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
But with no redemption. You know, Kat, you know what I loved about this is that he knew that nobody knew him. He goes, you probably don't, you might not know this, but I'm the guy who said, it's like he had to go someplace where people didn't know what a up he is. In order to be taken seriously.
I would say good for him for getting gigs.
Yeah, that's true.
You know? Like, I don't know how much longer he's going to be getting gigs. Like, I mean, like, obviously, governor thing not going very well. The VP thing didn't go very well, but he still has some recognition, I suppose, from that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Other than that, I mean, obviously, involvement in the Middle East is always very complicated. Getting out is always very complicated. I know President Trump, I'm sure, would like to be getting out because we're on week 7 right now, but it's always... You know, there's always a lot of externalities that come with getting involved over there.
Mm-hmm. Piers. You know, I understand the Dems are an opposition party, but when you're the loyal opposition, you still have some kind of responsibility not to go to other countries and trash your own.
I think it is kind of treacherous. You know, I was thinking if a British senior politician went over to a foreign country, in America, and started dumping all over the country or the leader of our country, I wouldn't like that.
Prince Harry.
Yeah.
Meghan Markle.
Yeah, treacherous little weasel like him.
Yeah.
Don't get me going.
Yeah.
Don't get me going.
Oh, this again.
No, the thing about him is he's what we call in England a wet flannel.
Yes.
Right? There's nothing worse than a wet flannel, right? Flannel should be dry, you know, curing the wet problem.
Flannel is what we would say is rag.
Yes.
Thank you.
He's a wet flannel. He's uninspiring. He's insipid. He's boring. He's unmemorable. He's the kind of guy, no one knows his name. If he comes to England, no one knows who this guy is. And his only sales pitch is, I'm that loser. Do you remember?
What? Yeah.
I think he might be on the flannel.
That was a long way for that one.
I
was a
couldn't
good- you were
wait.
waiting.
I couldn't wait to say that, and I still think it was worth it, despite your groans. So, Jeff, are you fascist curious?
No, but I hate that he said it. I listened to this whole thing, and he's what I would call as a wet rag. No, the whole thing was cowardly. Like you said, it's like to just go over there and make it seem like we all don't like Donald Trump here, and he was trying to make it sound like
We're all together.
Don't hold us. We all hate him. It's like, no, maybe in your dumb little state you do, but we not everyone does, and this is a complex situation. And it was all guys just like, he's peaceful.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're not. You're a crook and a thief. And also, I just think that I think it's fascinating that he is allowed to do that. Like she said, at least he's getting gigs. He'll be doing stand-up comedy in like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Watch.
And I in general hate this idea that just because you are in a certain political camp, that means you're a good or a bad person, that your views on this war or any political issue decide what kind of person you are. That's just not true.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
All right. I don't think anybody was saying
that. But he
that.
might as well. No, he was. Was he not saying that?
Oh, I was more like...
He was saying, there's still like a lot of us are some people think this, a lot of us on the good side. I think there's good people who
He made
voted
Trump
for
sound like a
both
dictator,
people.
too. He
Would you say there were good people on both sides? I mean, I would, right?
All right, enough of that crap. You're right. I was focusing on like the fact that he shouldn't be there, but...
Yeah.
He's got to take all the gigs he can now.
Yeah.
In 2 years, truly no one will know who he is, probably.
Yeah.
I hope.
Celebrity Big Brother. Survivor. He would be great on Survivor. Or Naked and Afraid.
Or
Naked and Afraid.
or one of those jail shows.
Yes.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.